boom, 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 boom. Okay. Hey y'all, let me go ahead and do my intro. Boom. Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Y'all. I started the live a minute early. I just felt like getting this one on out the way. Y'all love LAMH Huntsville. They talked about a little bit, but they really didn't talk about too much. Shout out to you, Alicia. Shout out to DSJ, y'all, for joining me early. I forgot that I actually did not send out the link for this live video. So I appreciate y'all who have your notification bells turned on. And y'all are sure to join me over here. What's up, J-Dub? Yeah, I'm super happy that y'all have y'all's notifications turned on because y'all didn't miss a beat, even when I forgot to upload the link for this video. So, couple updates, y'all. This weekend, where was I? I was in Oklahoma, y'all. I said, where was I at? Y'all don't understand. Mondays are never ending for me. From sun up to sundown, it's ridiculous, y'all. So, this weekend, I was in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, visiting my family for the annual rodeo, y'all. If y'all want to see like clips from the rodeo, I posted like 2 quick clips from the rodeo, but I really posted everything that I did the whole weekend over on Instagram. So if y'all want to go see what I was doing this weekend and why we didn't have brunch at Necey's yesterday, check that out on Instagram. And then the other thing, y'all, I got some good news. Your girl, I found my wedding dress. On Friday, y'all. Oh my gosh, I feel so relieved. We have just about 8 months until the wedding now. So y'all go ahead and send me good positive energy as I prepare for that in the next 8 months. But what's up, y'all? Shantia's in here, Chanel's in here, Karen Howard, Carla Jr., what's up? And then Tiffany Davis says, Bondi just finished her live. Definitely, y'all. I saw me, Bondi, and Jamie were all live at the same time. So I was like, y'all know what? Y'all can just go ahead. Make all the bus stops. Just boop, 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 boop. And stop by all of us. Let me make sure I have the right microphone on. Okay, my microphone is adjusted. Y'all should be able to hear me a lot better because I noticed like my last video that I posted on Saturday, my microphone was not connected. And I was like, the sound is trash. But y'all, I hope y'all are joining me after a long day of work, or hopefully this is your off day. But I already done poured up my glass of wine. I'm ready to talk about it. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville season 3. I think that this is episode 4, maybe episode 3, whatever it is. Y'all see the title in the description box. It was a very low-key episode, but sips margarita because Destiny is definitely holding back. And I feel like at this dinner with Mel, she was trying to speak to Mel in code. Basically, like, I don't want to address this stuff on camera, or I don't want to address this stuff in front of everyone, but I want to talk to you. And I hate to say it, y'all. I hate to say it. You get paid to be on a TV show and be entertaining. Whether that's you being a bone carrier or like Tiffany, hate to say it, Tiffany get on my damn nerves. But she's doing her job. Whether that's you being a bone carrier or you being entertaining enough to keep your own storyline going, that's what you get paid for. So, Destiny, it's your turn. Your turn is up now. It's no longer Mel and Martell's turn. We get another episode without Martell. What's going on? What's tea? Just like Jamie Thumbnail said. What's tea, Destiny? So, we'll go ahead and start off with the beginning of the episode. The beginning of the episode was when Maurice had left Kimmy to talk about his child and her stepson, her bonus son, with Kiowa and Zay. Now, Kiowa and Zay show up. They said that their flight was delayed. I told y'all last video, in my opinion, the whole damn thing would have been canceled. I don't think that he should have left her there to have a conversation, knowing that her and Kiowa already had beef. And then on top of that, you already don't include Kimmy in conversations that's as big as your kid vaping in the bathroom. And y'all know why I'm saying vaping in the bathroom? because whenever Tiffany was talking all that mess, and I'm saying talking mess, when Tiffany was trying to spill tea on a damn kid, she didn't want to stay with her chest. She was up there saying, I think it was him. Were they vaping in the bathroom? So that's how I have to say it now. But yeah, if what's his name? Maurice, if Maurice didn't think that the vaping in the bathroom situation was need to know for Kimmy, then why do you think that she can handle a conversation among co-parents by herself? Okay. So anyway, when Kyla showed up, in my opinion, I thought she looked a little bit uncomfortable, even down to the way that they hugged. It was a little bit awkward. But then Kimmy definitely was just like, oh, I come in peace. I come in peace. She was very much peaceful, very much saying we all have an in common goal. We all need to stick together. Kyle kind of said the same thing. One thing that I really liked that Kyle said, and it was similar to what the therapist had told Martell and Melody, was regardless of the divide of the family, who's in this house, who's in that house, as long as you stand together in your one united front and what you say, that's going to be more impactful to the child. So Kyla says that regardless of, anything that happened in the past, what she wants is for them to be a united front, all four of them together, and basically tell Monster, hey, this is what we stand for, this is what we don't. So that way he can really grasp the seriousness of the situation, right? So Kimmy also brings up the fact that, she was at brunch and Tiffany told her about the vaping. Really don't have much more to say about that situation other than the simple fact that Maurice should have told Kimmy. It's just so contradictory for me. Just for you to not think that it was need to know, but then you want her to handle the conversation. So whatever. At the end, y'all, the meetup between Kimmy and Kiowa all ended in laughter, and it seems like they're on a good page. So it went better than what she thought. So now we'll move on to Tisha and Destiny, and they are hot girl, looking for a hot girl summer car. And, this part is really funny because I couldn't help but think about Tisha looking for this car later on in the episode whenever Marceau ends up saying that she's spending all the money. But whatever. Tisha wants a graduation gift, so she is looking for a hot girl summer car is what she calls it, and she did look at a very nice car. I don't know exactly what kind of car it was. I didn't even care to look at what kind of car it was because I already knew it was out of my price range, but it was convertible and it was nice. So they're at the car lot, and Destiny is like, no, I really want to live a hot girl summer because I am no longer married. And y'all, I hadn't realized that Tisha wasn't there for previous conversations. So Tisha didn't even know that she was divorced. Tisha acts surprised, but I also feel like Tisha already knew because her reaction wasn't as prolonged as Kimmy or anyone else's. And she ends up saying, okay, I'm going to get right to that. I'm going to get to that, Tasha. So anyway, Tisha acts surprised and she just says, I'm so sorry, but you look great. And then they move on from there. Tisha in her confessional ends up saying that, she feels like they're in a divorce pandemic and it totally took her by surprise. Emphasis on the T, and totally took her by surprise to find out that she was getting divorced. So they move on from finding out that Destiny is divorced. And Tisha, I'm like, y'all really are going to continue to reach with this Kyra situation. I finally saw the last episode where Kyra allegedly was coming on to Marceau, and we didn't see any footage of them actually talking to each other. All we heard was voiceover of, him saying, hi, how are you doing on Marceau? But we don't even really hear Kyra. I don't even think Kyra was mic'd up. I don't think I don't think Kyra was really choosing Marceau. But Marceau definitely was making his way around that room. So contrary to previous videos, I told y'all in the other videos, like, I don't really think Marceau is cheating. I think people are just bringing it up. Y'all, Marceau, I'm going to say he's capable of cheating. Now, the outside babies is the one where I'm like, you know what? Y'all are doing a bit much. Y'all just want everybody to have an outside baby. But as far as Marceau cheating, is definitely potential, okay? Because Marceau is very friendly. And then on top of that, the things that he says and the things that he believes in as far as gender roles and what a man can do, it's like in his mind, he almost thinks that like a man is the god of the household. And I feel like he definitely could be out in the streets and it ain't nothing that anybody could do about it. And in his mind, nothing that Tisha could do about it. So what I didn't understand was why Tisha started out the conversation saying, well, let me tell you about the cigar lounge. Houston girls, they just don't care. They don't care if you're married. They don't care this. They don't care that. And I'm thinking like, girl, your husband was the one speaking to her first, just as he was speaking to the other women at the party. But you're going to put this on Houston girls and you're going to put this on Kyra. Not cute. If I was Kyra, I would have to come out with another video. I know Kyra already made one video on Instagram addressing it, basically saying she wasn't dating anybody's husband. She wasn't trying to talk to anybody's husband. But Kyra, this is the second episode that they have brought you into somewhat of a storyline. I would have to readdress that, okay? Because she's really reaching, in my opinion. Now, your husband's friendly. We know that. But you wouldn't, have my character out here looking like I'm choosing your husband. Anyway, so they go on from that, y'all. And then they get a phone call from Melody, y'all. So Melody FaceTimes the girls and she ends up saying that she's hosting like a Taco Tuesday event in her house and she's inviting all the girls over. Destiny turns the corner and says, is Tiffany invited? And Mel says, yeah, that's my friend. Of course she's coming. And Tisha's like, who is Tiffany? So they end up hanging up off the phone and Destiny recaps Tisha of everything that happened with the brunch, how Tiffany came with some tea that had an icicle on it is what she keeps calling it. And okay, y'all, this is where I stand with Destiny and Tiffany. Let me tell y'all, Tiffany, yes, she got on my nerves bringing up the story about the kid. She got on my nerves playing dumb, asking Destiny if it was another woman or something at the event, right? But either way it goes, her card had to be pulled. We had to know Destiny's storyline, and now that it's out, Destiny, go ahead and explain it. Even back at the brunch, Destiny was talking about, Mel said, well, did he cheat? Is he a cheater? And Destiny says no. Destiny is doing everything that she can to try to avoid people prying into her life. But you are on a TV show. I'm going to say that every time I talk about Destiny. You are on a TV show. No, we are not entitled to know every single detail of your life, but the show is called Love and Marriage. You came on here as a married woman, barely saw your husband. What happened to the love and marriage? We have to know, and you're not telling us. So that's why I'm thoroughly annoyed. So anyway, Destiny ends up telling Tisha that she has a problem with Mel for bringing Tiffany around. And Tisha ends up saying, well, I feel like if Mel knew that she was going to do that to you, Mel would have told you ahead of time. Basically saying like, nah, I don't think that Mel would do anything, sneaky in that type of way. And as far as me, y'all, I don't think that Mel would have set Destiny up like that. I don't think she would have set her up like that. Now that the information is out, is Mel going to do anything to keep Tiffany on hush? No. That's why Mel continued to ask Destiny questions at the table after Tiffany brought it up. I don't think Mel is wrong in this situation at all because, quite frankly, Tiffany is asking the questions that everybody else wants to know anyway. So who even knows? Shantia in the comments says, I think LeBerick has a clause that she can't mention him or something because y'all, she, or no one ever says this man's name when they speak about her marriage. I have not a clue, but she definitely can still discuss it. So Destiny, come again. So yeah, it gives her the recap of brunch. At this point in time, Tisha doesn't realize that she eventually knows who this Tiffany girl is. So we'll move on to the next scene. The next scene, we see Marceau and Tisha, and they are at a counseling session. This guy, I wish I knew his name. If y'all are in the live and y'all know the name of this therapist or life coach or whatever his title is, y'all let me know his name. But he's amazing. The reason why I want to say he's more like a life coach is because he does not back down. He's very pressing. He's like, nah, this is what we're going to do. So Tisha surprises Dr. Francis. Thank y'all so much. Dr. Francis. He's amazing. I want to go to Dr. Francis, but he probably going to have me in shambles telling me about my life. But anyway, y'all, Marcel is confused, y'all. They show up to the therapy session, and it's a surprise brought on by Tisha. Now, in my opinion, I don't think you should ever surprise somebody with therapy, even if you are married to them. I think that that's something that you got to discuss before y'all even get into any type of conflict. Are you open to counseling? Are you not open to counseling? Some people don't want to go to counseling. I just don't think that you should surprise somebody with that. So anyway, Marcel shows up, and he's confused, more so annoyed that she surprised him. And Dr. Francis brings up a good point and says, your wife brought you to counseling and you're not even asking why you're here. That already says a lot. When he said that, I was like, yes, Dr. Francis. He didn't even ask why, because quite frankly, Marcel didn't give a fuck. Whatever Marcel, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say Marcel is not going to entertain anything that he doesn't want to. And I mean that in a way to where if Tisha is complaining, he will minimize her emotions because he's like, nah, we're not dealing with that. This is how I'm moving. I have a one-track mind, 1-2 step. I'm paying the bills. You take care of the kids, and we're not going to talk about nothing else or nothing additional. And that's what I feel like he was trying to do. So pretty much, he ends up asking Tisha, why are we here? Tisha ends up saying, I have to take care of the kids. I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm taking care of the entire house by myself, yada, yada, yada. Now, let me clarify, y'all. Do I think that Marcel is misogynistic as fuck? Yes, I do. But he is so smart. He knows how to talk his way out of certain situations, okay? Tisha says that she's taking care of the house all by herself, which I feel like is part of the deal that she was forced into. This is what Marcel wanted when he asked you to be his wife, I'm assuming, because him and Maurice are they're pretty similar in a lot of ways. Maurice is not as harsh as Marcel, but those gender roles, they believe in to a T. So somehow Tisha agreed to this. You knew that you would be the only person taking care of the house. Marcel is the type of person that believes that if a man takes care of the bills and you have a roof over your head, food in your mouth, he don't have to do nothing else. And that's really fucked up. It really is, because so many things can still be missing. So many times you hear adults say, my parents weren't around, but they paid for the bills. My parents did this, but I know they love me because they took care of me, but that's not always enough, right? So between the two of them, it's hard to say like who is right and who is wrong. Marcel absolutely sounds a little more ignorant whenever he starts talking about things such as gender roles. Tisha is just, I want to side with you, Tisha. I really want to side with you. But Marcel be bringing up them points. I hate to see it. So anyway, from Tisha explaining about how she feels, Marcel ends up saying that basically all he heard was that Tisha does not know how to deal with the stresses of everyday life. And in his opinion, he's saying that she's doing what every other woman had to do. And while all of that is annoying, I can't be as upset with Marcel because I don't feel like this personality trait or his beliefs happened out of the blue. The other thing that Tisha doesn't fail to mention in this counseling session is that on top of her taking care of the entire household by herself, she just got her second master's in real estate. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think her first master's was in real estate. Congratulations. I am always for Black people getting more education and, just being better in general. So I'm not upset that you got another degree. But what I will ask is, what are you going to do with the second master's if you already have a first master's in real estate and you're not doing nothing with the bachelor, the master's, or the second master's because your husband won't let you? I just don't understand. I feel like it was something that was gotten out of boredom. Or maybe it's a way to validate your worth because you feel like you're more than just a housewife. You're worth more than just a housewife. So the only thing you can do is go and collect these papers to make you feel a little bit more worthy. So for you to act in front of everybody like your relationship with Marcel is just amazing, I really feel bad for you, Tisha. I really do. But I also want to know, like, who changed. I really don't feel like it's Marcel who changed. I think Tisha agreed to something that she didn't quite understand and was like, oh, that sounds good. I can stay at home. He gonna take care of me. And then once you actually got into it and you found out that with you being taken care of came Marceau basically not valuing you as much. So hate to see it again. So pretty much from this counseling session, we find out Marcel's an asshole. What's new? He says that she's spending her quality time on money, which is very funny because, like I told y'all, the scene before this when she was looking for cars. Tisha is finding ways to fulfill herself, finding ways to make herself feel worthy, getting another degree, even though you can't work, looking for a car to make yourself feel a little bit more worthy and buy yourself a better gift. Because as you mentioned in the beginning, Marceau threw you a party, which was a cheaper gift. But what you really wanted was something physical. And I honestly feel like if Marceau would have just talked about how much he appreciated her or even connected with her with words of affirmation, that probably would have sufficed. But Tisha's definitely missing some stuff in her life. So pretty much, like I said, we find out Marcel's an asshole. He ends up making a joke at the very end of the session. And he says, yeah, we can do this again, maybe in the next 15 years. Okay. So they end up leaving the appointment, and in the parking lot, they get into a little scatter, pitter pat, whatever you want to call it. And he's upset because he's like, what did you even bring me here for? Still basically letting her know that her feelings don't mean anything. And what she's saying is basically bullshit. He does not have any level of emotional intelligence at all. He's so logical. He can talk his ways out of situations. But whenever it comes to emotional intelligence, he's like, forget it. We'll move on. So Maurice, Monster, and Kiowa go to the Space Center to spend some time with Monster, and they end up having a conversation with him. Y'all, he was sitting down like this the whole time, not making eye contact. And I don't know if it was because he was shy or if it was because he was embarrassed to have a conversation like that on camera about him doing something bad in school. Now, what I do want to know is, y'all tell me in the comments, do y'all think that this vaping situation would have been part of the storyline if Tiffany hadn't brought it up? I want to know how those things go from, something that's not talked about to suddenly it's a part of your storyline on the show. Because I'm sure if Maurice could have kept this under closed doors, he definitely would have. So I'm sure that's another reason why Monster is embarrassed. The other thing I was thinking was that they were going to have this conversation as a united front, all four parents. So I don't know if they're going to have another conversation about it or what, but at this point in time, it may seem like they're beating a dead horse. A lot of y'all are saying no. Yeah, nobody thinks that this was going to be a part of their storyline for sure. So I just thought that they were going to talk about this as a united front. At this point in time, kind of feels like they're beating a dead horse because we don't know how long they've been talking about it at this point. So it doesn't seem like Monster understands the gravity of the situation. Maurice ends up telling him how even though you did something wrong and you learned from this one lesson, you have to think about the repercussions and what this means for your character as a Black man and how people are going to judge you, which I think is very important for him to talk about. I also think Monster heard this a million times, which is why he seems like he's a little bit detached from the conversation, because now he has to have the conversation on camera. And so they move on from that. And Maurice starts joking with Monster, saying he heard that he wanted to see a little girl in Michigan. So they start talking about his little girlfriend. Then they ask him about sex, which I thought was really funny. They said, do you think about sex? And he shook his head, no. And then he said, well, sometimes, not all the time. And then ultimately they start saying, there's more to sex than just the physical, more than STDs. There's pregnancy. There's also soul ties, which is what Kai was trying to tell him. And he says, like a good little 14-year-old boy, I'm not going to have sex until I'm 24 because I want to have a healthy marriage. I'm like, boy, if you don't get out of here with that, you sound all sweet right now saying that, but I want to know what you were saying when you were vaping in the bathroom. I actually don't want to know what you were saying because I actually do not like discussing kids' business, especially on reality TV shows. But Monster acting like an angel. It's okay. You're 14. I did the fool when I was 14. Black people can give Black kids grace. But what Maurice is trying to tell you is definitely valid. be careful how you move. And I cannot wait for Maurice to meet Tiffany because I need somebody to light her ass up. So we'll move on to the next scene. Tiffany is at home talking to her husband, and she is skating around the fact that she was being messy at that brunch. She ends up saying, you know, I told her that we met before. I was just trying to remind her that we met each other before. Tiffany, go ahead and keep that same energy that you had at the brunch, talking about it's her birthday. She can cry if she wants to. I think she's being a little bit dramatic. But whenever you tell the story to your husband, you're not really including all of the details and speaking about the story in the way that it happened. So her husband says maybe it wasn't the right time to bring it up. But y'all, what I'm telling y'all, Tiffany wanted to act like she was in the know. Tiffany seems to be a little bit of an oversharer. And I think she just wanted to be in the know with the group. So that situation could have went one of two ways, which it did. One, she would have gotten closer to Destiny, and Destiny would have been like, yeah, this nigga did this. He cheated on me. He did this. He did that, trying to get the tea. Or two, it would have been like, why are you bringing this up? Which is exactly what happened. Tiffany got the latter of those two options, and now she's sitting there like she has shit on her face. So it is what it is. Now we're going to move on to the taco party. So Tisha and Mel, they're the first ones in the house. And Tisha is talking about how amazing her counseling session went and how a lot of things, you know, got through to the both of them. That's a damn lie. The counseling session was like Dr. Francis and Tisha talking to a brick damn wall. But girl, based on the history that you have with Mel, I probably wouldn't have told her any different either. It's just very weird to me that you and Tisha even have conversations about Tisha's marriage. I would not even have conversations with Mel about my marriage. If we start over with our friendship, we can talk about something else. A couple of y'all, let me go ahead and read the comments. Reality Show Benjer says Mel looks so guilty in this situation, and Black Gal says, I think Mel set Tiffany up to bring the drama. I don't think she did. I don't think she did. I think, y'all, honestly, it could have went a couple ways. So we were on the Ooh Ladies First panel last week, and we said that Mel definitely could have had a conversation with Tiffany and said, if this is what you want to do to stay on the show, then you need to come with some tea. But I do not think that Mel would intentionally tell Tiffany, ask a question about Destiny. I don't think she would have done that. I think that that's just in Tiffany's DNA. A lot of these people have watched reality TV just as much as being you watch reality TV. And you know that you have to do something to get in where you fit in. And in this situation, that's exactly what Tiffany did. However, it impacted Melanie's friend. And I don't think Mel was upset with Tiffany for bringing it up either. I think that Mel was like, well, these are valid questions, which is why she doubled down on top of what Tiffany suggested and was like, well, was he a cheater? Well, this, well, that, because it's like, well, damn, if this shit is on the table, let's go ahead and have a conversation about it. So I will say, I don't think that Mel is opposed to having conversations about Destiny. However, I don't think that Mel set up the situation. That's too much. So anyway, y'all, I said Tisha and Mel were having a conversation, and then everybody shows up. Tiffany, Kimmy, Destiny, and what happened? Destiny, Mel. Okay, so Tiffany shows up late, y'all. Bear with me. I watched this episode 2 days ago. Destiny shows up to Mel's house late. And when she shows up, she's already at the door huffing and puffing because nobody's coming to the door and answering the door. So I'm like, damn, if Destiny really was already feeling some type of way, she probably should have called Mel on the phone and told her instead of Mel having to find out through Tisha. So when Tisha and Mel was in the kitchen, she was giving her the rundown, basically saying, you need to talk to Destiny because Destiny feels some type of way about you bringing Tiffany around. Mel, like a Scorpio, like me, because I think we got the same birthday, Mel was looking at her like, I think that this is weird that the information is being brought to me by Tisha. I would feel the same way. Because by Destiny moving like that and telling Tisha how she felt rather than telling her friend Mel, that's telling me, as if I were Mel, that there's a level of mistrust. So why are you looking at me like I'm the op when we could be having a conversation? So she shows up to the house. She's huffing and puffing, like I said, and all that passive aggressive bullshit. You could have called me on the phone and we could have had a conversation. I personally don't think that Mel was moving wrong. I think Destiny is trying to find somebody to take her anger out on. And in so many ways, she wants to say without saying on camera, I don't want to talk about my marriage. But that's what you signed up for, which is why she was being passive aggressive on the patio. And then when Mel addressed it first and was like, do we have something to talk about? You don't want to talk about it. No. Let's go ahead and talk about it right now. Tell Tiffany how you feel. Tell me how you feel. And if Destiny really, really wanted to be real with her friend, this is what I think Destiny was doing, y'all. Destiny doesn't want to have discussions about her marriage on TV. So whenever Mel in that situation at brunch happened, Destiny simply said, noted. And that's why she was moving passive aggressively, because she doesn't want to have confrontation that's filmed, because she doesn't want to talk about her husband on TV. So I don't think Mel did anything wrong in this situation. I don't think she did anything wrong in this situation. I think that Mel also has questions about Destiny, because she's probably looking at Destiny like, why are you always talking about my storyline, but we holding all your stuff and I got to hold all your secrets and we on the same TV show? So that's another reason why I don't think Mel was wrong for asking her, well, was LaBerica cheater? I don't think she was wrong because if you're the one telling my story to everybody and I don't know anything about you, what? Like that's a little bit unfair. So I feel like it's a bunch of little things that Mel and Destiny have not discussed with each other. Destiny's being passive aggressive. Mel is going to begin to be passive aggressive, and this is going to be the fallout. A lot of y'all are saying that Destiny cannot say much about her divorce. Y'all think she signed an NDA or something like that where she can't even say his name. But I feel like she can say something. Y'all remember the first time I ever seen anybody move like that on TV was whenever Royce was on Basketball Wives. Didn't know who her baby daddy was, but she was on the she was on the show based on the strength of who her baby daddy was, even though she couldn't say his name. She still had relative conversations. So I don't get it. I feel like it's definitely something that Destiny can talk about until she says otherwise. So I definitely felt like she was trying to talk in code. But we'll see. Tiffany was sitting there looking dumb, trying to play nice. Destiny says to Tiffany, well, didn't you come with the tea? And Tiffany says, well, I usually come empty-handed. Okay, so I guess we'll just see where this goes, y'all. The episode was all right, in my opinion, but really the bulk of where it was going to start to get good was at the end of the episode. Let me read this comment from Saki. Saki says, Tisha wants everyone to be her friend in a certain way, but she doesn't know how to be a friend. She talks too much about things that aren't her business. I shouldn't have to say, keep this a secret, okay? So thank y'all for watching this video. I have one more video. I'm going live right after this to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. So if y'all want to catch that review, head on over to my YouTube channel. Have your notifications turned on. We are about to go live in 2 minutes. So I will see y'all in the very next one. Bye.